Welcome students. Today we are studying biology for class 12th and we are dealing with reproduction in organisms part 3. In the last classes we have studied chapter 1 from the beginning and now we will study some next topics. Sexuality in organisms. First is bisexual condition. In this, both male and female reproductive structures are present in same plant. You might have seen that the same plant has both male and female parts. The male part is called anther and the female part is called carpel or pistil. Now this condition is also called homothallic or monoecious condition. So these are alternate terms. We can call it bisexual, homothallic or monoecious. The terms homothallic or monoecious are used in several fungi and plants. So in many fungi and plants, these words are used. Now there is another term, unisexual condition. When male and female reproductive structures are present on different plants. Means one plant has male flower and the another has female flower. This condition is also called heterothallic. Hetero means different. Or dioecious condition. Di means two. It means one flower is male and the other is female. In angiosperms or flowering plants, unisexual male flower is staminate. So unisexual means only one sex. The male flower is called staminate. We know that stamen is the male part. So this flower has only stamens. And if there is a female flower, separately it is called pistillate or it has pistils. A pistil is also called a carpel. In some angiosperms or flowering plants, both male and female flowers may be present on same individual. So if on the same plant both male and female flowers are present, it is called dioecious. Example, monoecious plant is cucurbits. It is a family Cucurbitaceae which includes cucumber, watermelon and coconuts. So coconuts are also monoecious. Example of dioecious plant is papaya and date palm. Now here we can see some examples. Dioecious plant papaya. With dioecious plants, each individual plant bears either male or female flowers but never both. So in dioecious plant, one plant has male flower and the other has female, but never both. In the second diagram, we can see monoecious plant. It is of Cucurbitaceae, and here we can see male and female flowers on the same plant. Bisexual condition, or when both the sexes are present on same animal, it is called hermaphrodite in animals. So in animals we use the term hermaphrodite. Example is earthworm, sponge, tapeworm and leech. They have male and female organs on same animal. Unisexual species, example cockroach. So one is male cockroach and the other is female cockroach. You might have studied it in class 11th. In this figure we can see sexuality in organisms. So here there are 5 diagrams. A diagram, it is earthworm. And we can see that in earthworm, the same individual is having testis sac with testis and ovary. So it is a bisexual animal. The B diagram has cockroach. We can see male cockroach and female. The male cockroach has a testis, which is shown below, and female cockroach has ovary. So it is a unisexual animal. Next, C diagram, we can see a plant. It is Chara and it is a monoecious plant. In this plant, we can see antheridium or male sex organ and oogonium or female sex organ. Both are on the same plant. Chara is a algae. In the D figure, we can see two similar plants, female thallus and male thallus. It is a bryophyte called Markensia. In the female thallus, we can see female reproductive structure archegoniophore, and in the male thallus we can see male structure antheridophore. So it is a dioecious plant. In the E figure we can see a flower. It is of potato, and in this flower bisexual condition is present because both the sexes are present on same flower, stamen as well as carpel. Cell division during gamete formation. So when gametes are formed, cells divide. Gametes are haploid. We all know that gametes have half number of chromosomes. For example, in human beings, there are 46 chromosomes and gametes will have 23. Though the parent plant body from which they arise may be haploid or diploid. So the parent might be haploid or diploid. A haploid parent produces gametes by mitotic division. So we all know, children, that cells divide by two methods, mitosis and meiosis. So if the parent is haploid or it is already having half number of chromosomes, the gametes will be formed by mitosis. Mitosis is also called equational division. So the offsprings will have same number of chromosomes as parent. Example is Monera, fungi, algae and bryophytes. If a diploid parent produces gametes, it will be meiosis or reduction division because the chromosomes will become half. In diploid organisms, special cells called meiocytes or gamete mother cells undergo meiosis. So in diploid organisms, there are special cells which are called meiocytes, and they undergo meiosis to produce haploid gametes. The number of chromosome in gametes is half than in meiocytes. So we must remember that number of chromosomes in gametes will be half than in meiocytes because meiocytes divide by reduction division or meiosis. Now here we can see a table comparison of number of chromosomes in meiocytes and gametes. Here there are three titles: name of organism, chromosome number in meiocyte 2n, chromosome number in gamete n. Suppose we see human beings, meiocyte have 46, so gametes will have 23. So simply we will divide by 2. Now in any organism, if we know the number of meiocytes or the number of chromosomes and gametes, we can predict the other. For example, if we see butterfly, it has 380 chromosomes in meiocytes. So when the gametes will be produced, it will have 190 chromosomes because half the number. So easily, if one is asked, the other can be calculated. Gamete transfer. In majority of organisms, male gamete is motile. So in many organisms, we know that male gamete is movable and female gamete is stationary. But there are some exceptions like few fungi and algae in which both gametes are motile. In the last class we studied one algae. Can you remember? Isogametes. Both the gametes were motile. Example was Cladophora. Gametes need a medium to move. So always gametes need a medium in which they will move. Water is a medium of gamete transfer in aquatic plants like algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes. In these plants, large number of male gametes are produced to compensate loss during transfer towards female gametes. Since the male gamete moves towards female, there is a chance that they will be lost. Many number will be lost. So they produce large number of male gametes in millions to compensate. In seed plants, pollen grains are the carriers of male gametes. So in seed plants in which fruits and seeds are produced, pollen grains carry male gametes while ovules have the egg. So ovules contain egg. Pollens produced by anther have to be transferred to stigma for fertilization. The pollen grains which are produced by anther have to be transferred to stigma. This process is called pollination. In bisexual self-fertilizing plants like pea, so pea is bisexual, both the parts are present, anther as well as carpel. Anther and stigma are closely located to each other, so transfer of pollen grains is easy. So in those plants in which self-fertilization or fertilization takes place within the plant, the anther and stigma are closely located. While in cross-pollinating plants in which pollen is to be transferred, the process of pollination takes place. It takes place by various agents like air, water, insects. Fertilization. So it is the most vital event of sexual reproduction. It is the most important event. It involves fusion of male and female gametes. It is also called syngamy and results in formation of a diploid zygote. In some organisms, female gamete undergo development to form new organisms without fertilization. So in some organisms, female gamete does not fuse with male gamete. It is called parthenogenesis. Example are rotifers, honeybees, some lizards and turkey. So they do not involve fusion. Here we can see fusion of gametes to produce zygote and then it develops into new individual. In this slide we can see rotifers. So what are rotifers? We know that there are many phyla in animals. Some animals which are discovered, they have very less number of animals and they can't be placed in other groups. They have some unique characters. One of them is rotifer. As you can see in the diagram, these organisms have one thing in common. They have thread-like structures surrounding the head. They are ciliated tufts around the mouth. Another organism is turkey. It is a bird in which parthenogenesis is present. Parthenogenesis in honeybee. So development of an unfertilized egg. In honeybee, we know that honeybee have three types of organisms: queen, worker and a drone. Drones are males and they are produced by parthenogenesis or without fertilization. They are haploid. While workers and queens are produced from fertilized eggs and they are diploid. So we must remember that drones are produced by parthenogenesis. Now fertilization in most aquatic organisms, syngamy occur in external medium. In aquatic organisms, fertilization takes place in external medium or outside the body in water. It is called external fertilization because it is outside body. Example, algae, fishes and amphibia. In external fertilization, there are some adaptations. First is synchrony. Synchrony means when the female releases egg in water, the male should also release egg at the same time, and both the gametes should be mature. The second adaptation is large number of gametes are released to increase chance of fertilization. So large number of gametes should be produced, mainly male gametes. Example, bony fishes and frogs. They produce large number of offsprings. There is one disadvantage of external fertilization. It is that offsprings are vulnerable to predators, or the offsprings, because they are found in environment, they are not inside mother body, they can be easily killed by predators. Internal fertilization, when the syngamy or fertilization occurs in body of female. Example is terrestrial organisms which live on land. In this come fungi, reptiles and majority of plants. In internal fertilization, male gamete is motile, it moves, but in seed plants, non-motile gametes are carried to female gamete by pollen tubes. We know that in angiosperms or flowering plants, the pollen grain, it lands on the stigma and then it is moved by pollen tube. In this diagram, we can see growth of a pollen tube on stigma. So on the top, we can see dots, circular dots, they are pollen grains, and the tubes in flowers. This is a image taken from electron microscope.